What? What do you expect me to say?
What could I possibly say? There are no words to properly describe what just happened.
Well, maybe except this.
There was a way I could go back in time and fix all this. I knew we'd get it done. Muffin?
Panda throwing. Glorious panda throwing everywhere.
For the 100th episode of this demographic-defying pop culture anomaly, the creators have decided to break their solemn oath and actually acknowledge that bronies exist. In this chaotic wonderball that is ultimately a love letter to this fandom community that has utterly refused to die, despite all the voodoo dolls in the world. For anyone not deep in the brony underbelly, this episode just looks like a funny, random, slightly meta tribute to the periphery characters of Ponyville, which by itself is a great concept to show life in Ponyville through the eyes of the citizens reacting to the now routine craziness usually caused by one of the main six, illustrated today by the main six battling a bugbear. But everyone else is just like, it must be Saturday. But oh no, the wedding's today! Everybody panic! Though this time it actually was a full team attack, so I would have actually liked to have seen that battle. But this episode totally worked as a collection of funny, slightly random vignettes tied together with a save the wedding plot. But then the whole thing is elevated another level when you see that 90% of the depictions are manifested brony canon. Yes, the actual plot is a continuity callback to an official show-created shipping in the wedding of Cranky Doodle Donkey and Matilda. Still, if they wanted to keep this 22 short films of Ponyville angle, they could have spotlighted minor but more well-known characters, like the Cakes or Big Mac or Cheerilee or the Rich Bitches, but they chose to feature characters that, had the brony community not given them personalities and names based on animation errors and over-speculation, the creators themselves probably would not have paid them any mind to even give them a name.
And you know what? Let's just do this the easy way.
The top 10 greatest, or should I say fan pandering, moments of MLP's 100th episode. All the sporadic visual cameos from all around the series, from the waiter to the jelly pony to Button Mash, Filthy Rich, Berry Punch, and like 10,000 others in this scene alone. It was just nice to see that they were still around.
The return of the Lebowski reference with voices. And on that note...
Sorry, man. What's this word you keep using, man?
There are just some amazing lines in this episode.
Maybe it's just a friendship problem, and it'll all be cleared up in a half an hour or so.
You're Stephen Magnet.
Typical Cranky to leave out minor details like the fact that I'm a sea monster, right?
For anyone who doesn't know, the giant sea monster from the series premiere was fan-christened Stephen Magnet as a name that was inexplicably generated from the crappy YouTube closed caption system.
And they actually used that as his name!
Though still, Derpy and Vinyl are still in the vague area, which is probably smart. And I gotta say, Stephen Magnet was fun, also kind of a dick. Oh yeah, stressing out the bride, this can only lead to good things. The princesses bickering over wedding gifts. Princess sister bonding and Celestia characterization. We need so much more of this. Why the hell was there a changeling at the wedding? You can't just drop that on us, you need to follow up on that!
And suddenly, out of the middle of everything...
What is life? Is it nothing more than the endless search for a cutie mark?
There are no words for this. I will merely admit that I can foresee a lot of people saying that this should have been higher.
Lyra and Bonbon BFFs. Yes, they have the intimacy. Yes, Lyra sits upright with her arms crossed, keeping that humanizing angle that the fans have given her. And then, all of a sudden, Bonbon goes...
My name isn't Bonbon. It's Special Agent Sweetie Drops.
Because that was her prior official name. Yes, that was another one of these just injections of random, but God, it's nice to see it come from somebody besides Pinkie Pie once in a while.
Yeah, this isn't just complete hacking of everything that the bronies have put on forums. The jokes and the timing and the story they've made in this episode are all just great. Just when we were sure she would never get a voice again. And she is just the most adorable thing on the planet. Though I'm not sure what accent that is. And not only does she get a significantly prominent role, but she gets a prominent role alongside him. With the scarf and the LOZ and the science and the British and the centuries and the time travel and oh my god, this man is the Doctor.
And yes, I know this isn't the first time it's been referenced.
And yes, that totally should have been with Derpy and then with Rose, but seriously, while at times she probably was played a little bit too simply, man, some of these scenes really could have been right out of Dr. Who's and the Assistant. And he has a bow tie! Yes! Smith beats Tennant, you overhyping Most of the most amazing lines come out of this man's mouth. And the sad thing is, he might be one of the funnest, most interesting male pony characters the show has ever made or bothered to give any voice time to. Octavia Vinyl Besties and the epic cello dubstep remix. Which I'm sure this all was just taken from an actual YouTube video. And if that wasn't enough for you... well, it's not quite the base canon, but you know what? It's a pretty damn good substitution. This is probably one of the most epic moments of badass what the fuckery I have seen in the entire show. My god, this episode could have only been more pandering if Pinkamena had shown up with rainbow cupcakes, had a crossover with the Powerpuff Girls, it was actually Bon Bon and Lyra's wedding, and the episode ended with the Cutie Mark Crusaders singing, Are we there yet? And after all of this spectacular chaos, manages to conclude sort of cohesively, with all culminating in a nice little summary about not having to be the main character to have an interesting story. Or even be an official show creator for that matter. Though that speech did sound a little forced. I mean, a wedding sermon that's more about the guests than the couple? The only other mild detractor would be that sometimes the bugbear jokes were a little forced. Oh, by the way, a bugbear exists. Man, the design of Kingdom of Loathing was better than this. Also, I have absolutely no idea who this is. Should I? In conclusion, this was just a gem of an episode that could not happen with any other series. I mean, the closest we've gotten to a self-referential spin on an episode with fan in-jokes would be, well, the Ember Island players. Okay, you've done something too. I'm sure there's others, but this is something that could have only happened with this fandom community. M.A. Larson, you've gotten a lot of crap for various things, and it's completely up to the individuals on whether or not this makes up for that. But as for me, thank you for this glorious episode of fun and showing your appreciation for a fandom that gets nothing but crap from everyone, including itself. This was a worthy 100th tribute. And while I'm here, I just want to clarify for my now ample subscribers, one, that you are all amazing, and that I know my schedule has been a little wonky lately. And the truth is, I've been doing a lot of things, including moving, going on vacation, and getting a new job. Yes, if it was my choice, I would do nothing all day but provide glorious content for my beloved Animaniacs. But I can't unless we reach the goal on the Patreon! Anyway, thank you so much for all of your love and support, and tell me what you thought of this episode. Comment, like, subscribe, etc., and you stay incredibly shiny, Animaniacs!
You are so young, and you are so